Peace to the family. Black motherfucking power. We are back. I'm the old Rebel with a cause. We got the co-host, Warrior Obasi, Kente in the building.
Yo.
Brother's about to come in.
Yo.
Peace to the God.
Yo, what's up, G?
Everything good, money, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm in the building.
Just a little technical difficulties. We back. But yeah, today's show about what we doing. Legacy, tradition, lineage, bloodline. I guess we're going
to... The importance of learning your legacy.
Yeah.
The importance of learning your legacy.
Is that the culturistic approach or legacy in all, like, science?
I think it's kind of like, I think it's interrelated in all of them. If you ask me, I'm definitely gonna look at everything through a cultural lens, because that's what drives us. That's what keeps us sustaining, if you will. It's like our immune system is. Mama Ani would say, your culture is your immune system. So that essentially is like your lifeline. But your legacy is what you work for. In my opinion.
Yeah, your foundation.
That's your like,
your core foundation.
Because it's gonna follow you. Okay, let's look at it from a standpoint of like Garvey. So even to this day, being in 2022, his legacy still stands. We look at Malcolm X. It's 2022. His legacy still stands. Even if we look at it on a musical aspect, for those of us that grew up on like the legendary Tupac Shakur, his legacy still stands.
Is that
because it's like it has something to do with your work ethic.
And there's two parts. Don't we have to keep their name alive?
Absolutely.
The responsibility is on whoever is under their feet or come after them, the greats, to keep their name alive.
To keep their name alive. So when we look at it, no, go ahead, bro.
By carrying on their tradition, or
by carrying on their
the level, or just sustaining it.
So, like we said in the beginning, okay, if the culture and the legacy are synonymous, so if we don't push our culture, like we don't keep our legacy alive, what happens to the culture?
It does.
Yeah. So that's why I said I think it's kind of like is they both interrelated. Yo, we got Brother Ken in the building.
Oh yeah, about time, man.
Water in the house.
Had some technical difficulties, but
small thing. But yeah, that's what we just kicking it off, talking about your topic, the importance of your legacy. So let me so what's really like interesting about this, because I like this topic. So is each one of us working for a legacy? Like what would the legacy? What would you like the legacy of Rebel to be like remembered as?
They're gonna be shocked at my funeral.
Oh, her nail call.
The whole world gonna be shocked. They're gonna say, "What? Why he ain't tell us?" But if you just want to simplify it, I just want to be remembered as a part of the revolution in the same light. So, how many people did I wake up? How many people did I affect? How many engines did I create for Black people? How much learning did I do? How much listening did I do? How much awareness did I accumulate? I want people to know that I took my life and put it right in the handles of all the greats that I ever learned. I took some pieces and I put it into fruition. And Rebel Vision is almost 20 years old. And if you go back to New York, the way y'all rock here in Atlanta, that's how I had it in New York. I just don't see me in my full fruition in Atlanta these seconds. But my point is, my legacy is the same as Malcolm's, in a sense. I could name any rider in the sense of gaining the knowledge, waking people up, and making sure you left the world blacker than you seen it when you first looked at it.
Dope. Who's that you got behind you? Patrice Lumumba?
Ooh.
Show that thing. Yeah.
Only a
Legacy.
to see that.
Legacy.
Legacy.
You see? That's culture. See, we're looking at all of what we're talking about. Culture, legacy, Africanness, warrior, legacy.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's something that, it's dope about your answer, like, because I never would have known that this thing was like 20 years in the making. So it shows you like the time and like how because I think we get so sensationalized by like the world now, and everything is like instantaneous. So we think you can kind of build this legacy overnight. You kind of do 100,000 followers, and then it don't work like that.
Yeah.
It don't work like that. It was a good fan base. Nah, you ain't hitting on legacy. Legacy take time. Knowledge Bone in the house. Knowledge Born.
We got history.
How you doing, man?
What's up, my G?
Peace and power, man. Peace and power.
Peace to the God. Peace to the God. So, Obasi, you next. What you want your legacy to look like?
Strong. Like me. Man, that's the remember. Because like we said in the beginning, man, that if people let it go and nobody remembers you, your legacy, everything. That I gave everything I had. I kind of like left no stone unturned. I didn't run to every battle, but I didn't shy away from the ones that I needed to deal with. Bravery, boldness, not foolishness. Certain words. I think I ain't gonna say I think I know. I kind of want the youth to understand where I'm coming from and why I say a lot of the things the way I do. So I think I just kind of want to be my legacy. I think my thing want to be remembered.
Nah, that's deep. That's deep because bigger than the heavens is the living legend. That's what we talking about. If you're remembered, then you're gonna live forever. If you do enough work and affect enough souls, you can live forever. And that's how you live forever, by your memory. So definitely that's powerful. Mr. Knowledge Ball.
Greetings, man. How y'all doing, man?
How you want that legacy to look on the wall?
I'm already putting that together. How I look, just being honorable and being what my name said is, Knowledge Born 7. Malcolm X, Malik El Shabazz says, history rewards all research. So therefore, we definitely have to research our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? They mapped the world. They mapped the stars. And the Kemetu saw themselves as black. And in the Mudu Netta, the color for black is Kim, which is Kemet, land of the blacks. And so, definitely, as you build yourself, you learning other legacies from your ancestors. You learning from the great Nasu Bitties. Those are the great Babas. the architects. You know what I'm saying? And know that you from the Thai Netcher, which is the land of divinity. Know that you're very important. And all of these things are very important because as you build yourself, you pattern yourself behind those who have always paved the way. You know what I'm saying? You map the cosmos. You know what I'm saying? And a good book to read is the Merkut Sabiat, which is the pyramid text. And understand what consciousness means. Consciousness means that we are connected to the universe. Since we map the cosmos, that means I think our ancestor has a very strong building block as far as cosmology. You know what I'm saying? And understand and overstand how we need to work together in operational unity. So definitely, as you're building yourself up, the building blocks must be there. And when I say the building blocks must be there, when I give my mantra, and they ask me who I am, and I tell them I'm 360 degrees of the circle, 360 degrees of the circle, 120 degrees of wisdom, 120 degrees of knowledge, 120 degrees of understanding. You know, that circle is the cipher. So therefore, these are the people who I learned from. You know what I'm saying? Nation of Gods and Earth. That come from cipher. That's supreme mathematics.
Yes,
when I tell them I'm 360, that's what I learned from my other brothers who's into knowledge. You know, and definitely knowing that 33 degrees ain't gonna do it. 360 degrees gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And I said it in my poem sometime. 33 degrees. That's crazy. We don't need to be 33 degrees. We already 360 degrees. You know, so yeah, we definitely, that's how I want to do it, as my name speaks for itself. And when people read the name, not saying I'm the brightest person in the room, which I'm not. I don't claim to know everything, but I will say this, in knowing where I'm going, because you should have a thought process of where you're going. So I'm definitely gonna be remain honorable. That's one. Two, I'm definitely gonna be a brotherhood and camaraderie with my brothers. Then three, whatever we have to discuss, we're gonna build on it. That's what make us better, make us sharper. And then not only that, it gets us in a position where we know each other as far as the operational unity, what we need to do, because that's the legacy of our ancestors, and that's what they did.
Yes, sir.
Right. You know, man. Also when I think about 360, I also think about 3 and 6. It's 9 being completion. So that's showing you the completion of the circle. And it's just me. It's like we are, as African people, we are a rhythmic people, but we are a complete people before we were interrupted. So that's why we represent the circle. A lot of people say stand on your square. I changed that. I said stand on our circle. We're people of the circle, so stand on your circle. Europeans are square. We ain't square.
I got one for y'all. Y'all saying 360, but there's also plus degrees that will allow you to reach 720.
Right.
At 720, you become a sideways 8. Look it up.
Yeah.
So
no, that's dope though, man.
That's even doper. We could reach 720 and form a collective circle too. You're gonna be a sideways.
But man, see, that's interesting, man. How much work would have to go into? What would one have to do, dog, to like become that 720? You get what I'm asking?
Work all your life,
man.
Grind, think, learn. Grind, think, learn. Grind, think, learn.
Yeah.
You got to become a guru to reach that.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, interesting question before we slide off of that 720. Do you think we had any ancestors that was at that 720 peak?
oh yes, sir. I
Yeah.
think more than 50%.
I can name a couple.
I was checking out the book, the writings of Atamali,
Mm-hmm.
guy from the Dogon,
Mm-hmm.
and a European Wazungu went to study with them, and he didn't even graduate out of a particular. I think he made it to like third grade or something like that, third class. But he went out there to the sand, and Atamali, he drew the cosmos, star systems, in the sand with a stick in detail. But guess what about Atamali? Guess what? He was blind.
Mm-hmm.
So he clearly was 720.
Mm-hmm. And it was intuitive, dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in him.
And when you read the Two Netter, Volume 1, it tells you in there that knowledge enters the black man's mind intuitively.
Yeah. If you want affected, if you
want to affect it,
vibration could block sound and inner angulation. So you have to be in the right mind to kind of get that magic that I just know.
Mm-hmm.
That discernment. You got to be in the right state. All right, John came in.
All right, Grove.
Peace. What's going on, brother?
Brother John, how you be, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. Hanging in there. Y'all doing all right?
Yeah.
No complaints, man.
What y'all discussing tonight?
It's on you.
It's on me.
Discussing legacy, tradition, lineage, bloodline. How you want your legacy to look?
How I want my legacy to look.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's actually the importance of learning your legacy. So, but we building all those things, bro, explained within that. But the topic is the importance of learning your legacy.
I mean, that's a deep question. I mean, I think about that all the time, honestly. Like, cause when it comes down to what life is, it's about how much time and energy you got. When that's up, it's over. So when we look at even great ancestors, everybody had a time period, and I was at a funeral recently, and the brothers he reminded me of something. He said it's a lot of stuff on a tombstone, but the most important thing is one of the smallest things. He said it's the dash in between the numbers, so if you got 1950 to 2020, it's what you did in between that time, and that's really all you got. So when we talk about legacy, it comes down to what you did with your time and energy while you were here, and that hopefully, becomes your legacy. As for me, my legacy shit. But it ain't about. But it's just make sure you do better for your people. One things I love about my teachers is the use of the word progeny. And I think the same way. Like, we only here for a little bit of time. The luxuries, the so-called rights, that we have, mostly are not attributed to what we've done in our lifetime. It's due to what others have done before us. So for me, and legacy, it's about, the changes that I'm able to put in place, such that the next time we come into this form, into this world, we're in a better position, you know, as a people.
So you know, so before you came in, you know, and I want to ask you a question, bro. So before you came in, we were naming some people, and I said, you know, Garvey. You know, when we think about legacy, we think about Garvey. So let me ask you something. Do you find it like, I want to ask you, do you find it like a little bit more challenging because you are picking up, or you know, like the picking up the legacy or building on the legacy of a Garvey? Does that make it more? Does it make it more tough, or like, I know you embrace it because you've taken on the challenge, but how do you view that by you being in the UNIA?
Great question. At the end of the day, you know, we all in this life trying to search for, you know, our purpose, you know, and what our true gift is to provide to the world. With me and my path, you know, I've come across Garvey and his work, and I admire, you know, his work. I respect his work. In a level of comparison, I don't necessarily think like that, you know, because, you know, he did what he did in his time, you know, and I'm sure, you know, we can assume if he was here now, you know, he would be just as effective, if not more than. But, you know, out of respect for him, you know, I have to let his legacy stand alone. You know what I mean? And respect it for what it is. And specifically, like I said, in the time, you know, that dash between the numbers, you know, it's nothing I can do when it comes to 1887 to 1940. That's before my time. You know, I have no say. But, you know, when I was, you know, 1985 until whenever, that's, you know, that's when it comes down to what I can do and what I can provide. But there's no comparison. You know what I mean? There's no comparison. I don't think like that. I just, you know, use it for motivation, guidance, you know, and also somewhat of a warning of what not to do. You know, so that's the way I take it.
Nice.
That's key what you said, warning, because I started getting into, you know, I came into the, you know, into this realm, learning everything with commerce. It's a lot of warnings in commerce, because you will get slapped on the hand. So in that, I learned what not to do.
It's you know, it's history, man. We got to just be serious about history, study that history. You know, things are going to be different. They're going to change, but most of it, if not all of it, has a source. You know, they say it's nothing new under the sun. So I would say all of it has a source. It's just being repackaged, you know, for modern day. So, you know, we got to study where these things came from. Like you said, you know, look at the history, find out where others have made mistakes in the past. And like I said, only thing we can do, and legacy isn't very important, but the only thing that we can do and we have control over is our time. You know, anything before us, anything after us, we ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, well, after us to an extent, because we influenced them. You know, but you know, it's no competition. We competing against each other. You know what I mean? Honestly, because we all fighting in the same time. You know, just like Malcolm and Martin, like, you know, they were in the same time. You know, so. Yeah, that's what I would want to have as a legacy is for us to go out as a brotherhood. You know what I mean? Like, you know, not just 1, 2, 3, but, you know, kind of how they speak about it in the past where we had, you know, 10, 20, you know, leaders that were active at one time.
Yes,
you know, that's the type of legacy I want to be a part of.
Powerful, brother. Powerful.
And, you know, I think we have to kind of like I think. You said something, bro?
Nah, you can finish for water though. My bad.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying, No, to something Brother John and Knowledge was saying, like that warning. And I think like this is something that has helped me along the journey of not more so worrying about the end goal or the end game, just kind of like enjoying the process. Cause we have to like really learn to embrace like the trial and error of this thing, because it's like, okay, we can practice. Like say we on a team. I like Hard Grows analogy. Go out like a brotherhood. So if we practicing, okay, so you get sharp in practice, but the real experience comes in the game. So, it's that trial and error. And I think, we gotta take those warnings and be careful, but we can't be afraid to mess up, because I like Hardgrove's response to, he said, hey, that was Garvey's legacy, that's that. We're gonna leave that way it was, but I'm just gonna do what I can. I'm just gonna enjoy and build my part onto it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tradition. Okay.
It's like I said, it's nothing new under the sun. And throughout my journey, like I got into this, it was like 2018, really. I'm in my early 30s, and I'm just feeling like, how, I don't know, like you feel like you could do it better than everybody, even though you ain't so,
you definitely thinking you the MVP.
You just criticizing everything, everybody. Like, man, if I had Farrakhan power, man, that's what I would do. But like I was thinking about creating organizations, and one of them was like the name of it was gonna be Black Power, POWA. It was Prisoners of War from Africa, and that's as far as I got was Black Power. but the ancestors told me, man, like, before I go out trying to do something, something else, something new on my own, study the legacy of the past, and I came across Autobiography of Malcolm X. The mosque was right down the street, end up going to the mosque on a regular basis. But throughout reading Autobiography of Malcolm X, one thing I pulled out is two men that he holds in high regard in the first chapter and the last chapter. The first man is his father, which is expected. The second man is Marcus Garvey. So I started to research that information, ended up finding out, they had a division here in Atlanta. Pretty much the rest is history. I'm still on the same path, but like I said, I'm trying to learn, and I feel like when it comes to, our great leaders and great legacies, the lineage I fall in would be Garvey. I'm trying to create, the lineage of nationhood for our people globally. I ain't gonna I'm not gonna stop right there because
before Wardo go, hey yo, that Black Power would have been radical, bro. We probably would have ended up working together anyway.
Exactly, but I mean, I think ancestors, everything aligned perfectly.
Prisoners of War out of Africa. I like it. Kim Wardo, you got the mic. What's the importance of legacy to you? And
it's like, man, what you left behind, what you did while you was here. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm a brother that care. I want to be known as a brother that cared for our people, a brother that fought for our people. You know what I mean? Till the casket dropped, and it's that simple. You know what I mean? A brother who cared and fought for the people, for our people.
But elaborate a little more though. As far as your presented narrative of how you want us to see you, how you gonna look in the museum?
Am I gonna look in the museum?
Yeah.
Man, just a brother that struggled, that was in the struggle with our people, man. That's it. Plain and simple.
So let me ask you a question. So in the museum, do you want the name Kenwardo Akil, or do you want the beloved Kenwardo?
Either one. That's the people's choice.
As long as we in the museum.
Hey, that's the people's choice, man. Some people
Listen.
probably love. I didn't know that. You know, I go by the name I kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nah, man. That's the way it is for me, man. I just want to be known as a brother who cares, man, for our people that love our people, man. You know, I want to be known as the brother that fought for the liberation of our people. You know what I mean?
You're doing a good job, brother.
Yeah.
Going your way.
Yes, sir.
Nah, progeny, like John said, what is that? What did we just not know we have to carry tradition? Do we not know we have to try to put on the shoes? And like y'all said, different time zone, same science though. So it's just you baking the cake your own way. The ingredients are kind of the same. It varies, you know, up and down due to the time, but the real core ingredients are the same. We're trying to get free, right?
Right.
Trying to wake the minds up. We're trying to get a hold on economics. We're trying to really unite where we truly one to the world like we a real race. So these are the hardest things to do.
Very hard.
I think when we look at it, okay, it got stolen. I put it like that. You know, our building, our force, as Kobe Cambone would say, our survival thrust. It got stolen, right? So instead of us becoming like third, fourth generation Garveyites, the poison in the cookie was third and fourth generation gang members, Bloods, Crips. Third and fourth generation going to prison. My pops went to prison. My granddad went to prison. I went to prison. As they interrupted our frequency. So the young homies really don't. That's why I really don't like a lot of these internet characters. And one cat I don't really want to say is, you know, because me and Ken was having this conversation. I don't really want to say his name. But he's an idiot on the internet that just thrives off of, you know, he's like an agent of chaos. So he appears to seem like he wants to do good and that he's this community activist, but he really just antagonizes the people. He really gets a joy out of calling the cops on people. And that's not a legacy. Oh, you can relax, Hard Grove. I ain't gonna go there.
When you said that.
Oh no.
You gonna go there.
But Obasa at the same time, we need those certain players on our path. It just make us stronger, and definitely it shows us how we should move and how we should not move. And you also gotta look at it too, man. People get pump and prime through different ways. The ego is the ego can be very. The ego could be good, and it could be very, very bad. And a lot of guys on the internet, man, they just moving because they keyboard bandits, you know. And not just that, man. They say stuff, ain't no repercussions behind it. I get all of that, and then the egos get involved, and you know it's a problem. And that's one thing I can say as far as us trying to, you know, we walking the path and doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like Hargrove said, you know, in so many words, you know, we as we on this journey, we got to have character as well too.
Right. And you know, that's a lot of what's missing, right? Because like you said, everybody's chasing this. Because that's why I said, you know, the media is, you know, nearly full of Junior and Mama Frances Cress Welsing talked about the 9 areas of people activity. That media is like the 10th because so many people socialize on this every day. So that's why I really don't like that. We really have to look at, as I say, power words. Like, okay, when we say social media influencer. Now we stop right there. We really dig on the power of the word influencer. So we got a lot of adults and grown men and fathers who are pumping a legacy into their children, but it's a legacy of cowardice. It's a legacy of degeneracy. So that's why, I can kind of agree with you, knowledge where you say, okay, we need those kind of guys. Okay, well, I guess we do need a kind of a villain or antagonist. If you kind of like, I don't want to say the hero, but if you like the positive example, what's my out without that negative? So I think that's where we have to hit even more harder, because what bothers me is these negative forces seem like they're having more of an impact on the people and an impact on the anti-legacy, because now it's a legacy of, not want to take care of children. Because, we gave all of our single, how we want to be remembered. But I think as we got to remember, we're a collective, like we said, like that circle, right? So what should the legacy of the collective of Black men look like? You see what I'm asking? So if we look at the time, like Hartgrove said, Hartgrove said this timeline from here to here. So we look at the timeline from Malcolm to he was gunned down, Garvey to he met his demise. Look at the level of masculinity. And that poison in the cookie that I talk about, the masculinity has been compromised. We got to get back to build that solid legacy. The masculinity got to be strong again. So I think we have a lot that we have to really build on.
You're right.
All while the white man is freeing soft, feminine Black males.
Exactly. All
through media. The shit won't stop. I just saw a commercial for, I'm trying to get it right, I think a sweeper sweep. They showed a Black man sweeping his house, twirling around and shit. So it's everywhere that they want us feminine. Mm-hmm. It's working. I ask y'all a question, because most men don't have their children, and we touched this on the other debate, but is it that the Black woman is having so much success in America? Now you on the team of America, so now the mind frame of America is a positive. Is the fact that Black women is eating in America poisoning the minds of our kids? Is she letting in the garbage just because she's being so accepted by that system?
We're talking about legacy. We're talking about tradition. These are things that can also be defined as either an individual or society's culture, but we have to understand that these things are taught, So even going back to what Brother Obasi was saying about influencer, we in a new age, and things are being redefined, and influencers have become the new teachers, So when it comes to the sisters and their behavior, it's a miseducation on both parts, the brothers and the sisters. One thing we got to take accountability for is the fact that the brothers would leave the sisters vulnerable in that position to where they would need help from the white man. We have to make sure, as from a scriptural standpoint, the hedge is there. There's a wall. There's some sort of protection from what we know to be this hellish world. But beyond that, I think, in modern society, there's a level of, it looks like they're taking advantage of it, but at the end of the day, I'll go back to the education. What are these sisters or brothers consuming, from an educational standpoint?
Obviously, it's what the influencers are talking about, truly, critical thinking and historical reference. You know what I mean?
But that's what we gotta focus. It's in this world, it's hard to just take out the influencer, but we got to provide that counter influence, and I think that's what you've been doing, for years now. So salute to you, and salute to the platform.
Right. Because and I'm gonna catch where you at, bro. Like cause see, we have to look at, like you said, the stuff is taught. So that's why I always say, if we look at two diabolical crackers, John B. Watson and B.L. Skinner. John B. Watson said, give me 12 human beings, basically. Give me 12 different people. And I can shape them into anything I want. A carpenter, a beggar, all these things. So when we really look at, because see, this is what I don't like about, like we're saying, like these influencers that get up here and they so knowledgeable and they're talking about all this crazy stuff, but they're not really putting it into real context. They're looking at like the side effect of racism, white terrorism. They're not looking at the cause. So you're looking at my leg and you're saying it's a broken leg, but what caused it? Well, I was pushed out of a tree. I was pushed out of something. It's caused. They're gonna say, well, what happened? How'd you do it? And I think we don't really look at like what happened, back to Hargrove's point of leaving the sisters vulnerable. They knew that once they kind of broke the man down, that they had that way. And to your question now, Rebel, because you did ask a good question. What does the woman lead, in a sense, look like to the children? To me, it was an extension of like feminism, in a sense. My opinion, it was an extension of feminism, because what got trained was we're being subjugated. Now it went from white women being subjugated against their men to now it was a we thing. And if we look at it through a cultural lens, before any invasion, we didn't subjugate our women. So we didn't lead over our women. So if we look at, like I always talk about Mayat and Tahuti, they were compliments. She didn't submit to him, bow down, all of this. They were compliments. They were together. So I think once we, like I said earlier, once the frequency got distorted and stolen, we didn't know how to identify ourselves anymore. So the nigga image, instead, like going back to John B. Watson and them picking up, and these Europeans picking up on what he put down of behavior modification. This is why we got the gangster rap nigga. Because, when we look at things, and I think we kind of have short-term memory. And Crazy Bone was saying something to the nature of when they brought in this way that they were going to bring in gangster rap, fill up the prisons, right? And they knew that they couldn't do it with Kid and Play, Heavy D, the good time. They had to, I always bring this point up, and Ken know this because it was me and him on the radio when we had this brother named Namso on, and he was from, I forget where he's from, but he was an African brother. He was a continental African brother. And this brother told me and Ken, he said African people didn't. He said certain things like child support was unheard of. Yeah. He said certain things like children talking back was unheard of until the introduction of certain movies like Boys in the Hood, Men's Society, these things. So in this behavior modification, they gave us that template of that nigga. That gun, that chain, that dope boy. They gave us, Nino Brown, and we even got a buffoon, an influencer on the internet that called himself Nino Brown. So again, we have to learn how to, to get back on that legacy. We got to identify a strong legacy. What does that look like?
Let me ask you, do you think, like in the 80s, I was a teenager in the 80s, but do you think when they brought in crack, cocaine, I think they had a whole lot to do with it, man.
saying? But yeah, bro, if you like, hell yeah. Because dog, if you look at it, okay, they did a show called Snowfall. I don't know if people looked at it.
I'm up on that, yeah.
I don't know if people like, and I know a lot of people looked at Snowfall. But this was even okay. We go back and look at season 1. There was this girl, and I don't want to give it away because I ain't a movie teller. I hate being around movie tellers. But there was this girl that this is what it did to the black family. She was on her way to college. Now they're gonna get you one way or other. Either you're gonna get this college miseducation, but we introduced something that was diabolical, and we never recovered. And once she got a hit of that rock, it flipped her life upside down. She was like, F college. I'm on a 4-day crack binge. So if we look at, when we sit up here and we have these fools that blame the mothers and the fathers for going to prison, and the mothers, they were strung out on dope. They so strung out that they would sell their children to anybody. We are a child-centered people. This frequency got broken.
That's a lack of understanding history, though. You know, like that's why I feel like any part of a sound legacy comes down to education. You know, because if people don't know who you are and what you're doing, then you won't have a legacy. So it has to be some education at some point.
But what did okay, bro? But what did the education get replaced with when they got?
No. I'm with you. I'm with you.
But I'm just saying, it's not like to build on. You know.
What has it been replaced with?
Mm-hmm.
You entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, the sports, so-called music. You know.
Yeah.
Like you said, the movies, social media is a form of entertainment. You know, all of these things, you know, in my opinion, is a form of entertainment. It's a distraction.
Yeah.
It's really. Well, let me say this.
Oh, go ahead, Doc.
Really,
Some music is good, but yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. The Lil Nas.
No, definitely.
it's all the same. It's really simulation because everybody is simulating reality. If you really look at it, the FBI then told us how many dildos was bought in the last 10 years.
Now that's a telling fact.
This is real. Now,
No comment.
I don't know what none of that.
It's recorded.
This is
All right,
fact.
bro. But no, this is real spit.
We're talking about simulation. We're talking about simulation, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you get text messages, you talk through text.
Yeah,
That's a simulation. We didn't.
you're right.
Okay. Movies are simulation. The fact that the Revlon commercial pull in the black girls now, come wear the makeup, plus Meg Thee Stallion and all of them is all made up on that girl shit. Simulation.
But no, bro, I really
What
want
we
to
doing right now is a form of simulation too, though, right?
Technically,
All right.
you gotta.
But I kind of want to go back to your point you was making, bro, about the simulation of the deal, though. And I know this is really but no, real talk, John. No, look at look at what this really did. In the sense of the feminism, right? I mean, I'm saying, I don't need no man. I got this right here. It made the man expendable.
Okay, I see.
In their eyes. Further putting the black man out of the household. So we gotta really look at this because one of those areas of people activity is sex.
Yeah.
You know, one of those areas of people activity is sex. So we know these are areas we're being socialized in. You know,
Hold on. You talking about psychological, right? So
yeah.
I don't need a man, right? Then psychologically, don't I play the role of the man? So
See,
now,
y'all going too far. Y'all going
so
too
now
far.
is my sex drive male?
Mhm.
See, but the thing is, we don't have control of our culture.
Yeah.
You know, like in certain cultures, these things are unacceptable. You know, but within our culture,
Yeah, too.
what is unacceptable within the black culture?
That's
Now,
why I asked, the black
Again,
nothing that is unacceptable within the black culture.
but you know why? In my opinion, because we are on an American culture. See, we think we are calling ourselves Black American. See, when you get into stuff like Mama Marimba Ani, and she talks about two different worldviews. Either you looking through your African worldview,
Yes, sir.
or you looking through your European worldview. So a lot of these ADOs, FBA, V103, you know, all of these guys that's thinking that they this, following, you know, Tariq Nasheed and this, it's an American Eurocentric culture. That's why we don't have, ain't no limit, John.
I'm with you.
Ain't no, you know, so it's like you said, bro, nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
So if you got these, okay, now we got binary, we got cisgender, what's the other one? This is the one that took me out. The pansexual, where they just sexually attracted. They like, oh, it could be a hermaphrodite, it could be a drag queen. If all I got to do, and you know, one of the most beautiful sisters got with this. Janelle Monáe comes out and says she's pansexual.
Hold on, when they start this up?
Well,
That's my first time hearing that.
I knew Janelle Monáe was on some other stuff. Like, nah.
You know, so again, an influencer.
Yes, you're right. But again, from the source of entertainment.
Entertainment. That's another one of those areas of people activity.
But as Brother Knowledge would say, like, I think these are just modern forms of media. You know, like they're just using these platforms to display a certain message. You know, to program people a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but they not being forced. You need the people to play the role.
you're right. We really know what you mean. We set it up.
The program is being forced when we don't have a culture. The
Exactly.
program is being forced. We don't have men in the house who taking care of the kids. The program is being forced when we, as alleged leaders, still have to have our hand out because we will not move together in operational unity to help us out for a particular cause. Everything on us is by force. We are the only people.
I get you.
They perpetuate madness on us by force. The only people that let you know right there that you're very important.
Yeah.
That let you know right there the power of what you have inside and outside of you. You know what I'm saying? Everything for us, media, news, or whatever, education, anything. You know what I'm saying? It's pushed on us by force.
You know what I'm saying?
All of it is a false agenda.
But all of it comes from my understanding, you know, as Brother Obasi said, but even Garvey teaches, it's either Afrocentric or Eurocentric. You know, it's one of the two. So no matter what they're saying, what they're pushing, if it ain't Pan-African, it's probably Eurocentric.
Yeah, but see, we know that because you in your right mind, John. Knowledge know that because he in his right mind. Rebel know that. Ken know that. I know that because we're in our right mind. So like Brother Knowledge said, everything that's being put on us is being forced. And going back to them diabolical crackers, John B. Watson, behavior modification. So when you're in a Eurocentric, anti-African world, what does that look like? I ain't African. I'm a Native American. I ain't African. I'm foundational Black American. African don't even like you, and that's being pumped continuously. African walk right by me and won't even speak.
But
how y'all want to go to a place? This is what we hear in constant. This is what we being social. Our people being socialized. Why y'all want to go to a place that y'all ain't never been? None of them Negroes ever been to Morocco, but they swear they more.
We are pushing the message of global African unity. You know, we are brothers and sisters we are partners with all of our brothers and sisters throughout the world, throughout the diaspora, with the motherland being Africa. And I don't think it's any other organization or group or name or 3-letter, 4-letter, whatever, that can achieve the same objectives. You know, so from that standpoint, we are automatically on different pages. You know, you're trying to work in this sector. I'm trying to work on this whole dang on globe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what sets the Pan African apart from any of the other groups.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of the question. Because y'all talking about the mind frame, who's stuck with the European logic, right? So the question was, because we're not blaming black women. Yeah, the answer is it's our fault. But what's the residue? Are they the reason our society is going down since they have so much power and they're under the trance? The end result is the kids. So I'm looking at the kids, right? So I'm going to base it off who's raising.
I'm going to let somebody else have that one. I don't want to beat up on my sisters.
I'm not gonna beat up on our sisters. I'm just telling.
Repeat. Repeat that.
I'm not gonna beat up on our sisters. But I'm gonna tell the truth. As far as the structure that they were given, it was taken away from them. Everything was to push the black man away from the system. And yes, it happened because one, when a man cannot provide for his family, there are certain consequences that's going to happen. And then there are certain laws that are passed, or they may be given a decision or a choice, and the sister's gonna look out for the kids first before they look out for that man. So you got a woman who has a baby by a brother. He ain't got no job. The workforce is hard. Mm-hmm. He can't do what he got to do. So the sister like, okay, I'll get some benefits. And anytime you deal with the Corporation of the United States of America and you accept some benefits, you are accepting that agenda as well too. Yeah. Now they are in power. Now can they be like, okay, let's help a brother out? They can say, okay, let's help the men out, but they don't want to do that. Why? Because they watching media, multi-ethnic destruction in America. Why they watching media? Because the media is constantly beating up on the black man. They ain't nothing. They ain't this. They ain't that. So therefore, by us constantly being in the media, it's constantly programming. Like I said before, everything is against us. Programming the woman, the man ain't nothing. So therefore, what she do? She high up in the ranks. She running certain things. She high in the job market. And who she see that's doing real good, who's not in the media? The European. So she go get a white man.
Mm-hmm.
Or a white man.
Mm-hmm. No, man, I think my bro Knowledge said it. And all I can do is add on to his point of, it is a point that's being used and say, well, because you hear black males regurgitating and say, well, the black woman kicked us out the household, so she can have government assistance. That's such a disingenuous statement, and this is why I say that, because like Knowledge said, sisters are based on stability and being able to provide, and we gotta look at these things to stop acting like our sisters are wrong for wanting a man for wanting stability. So once, like he said, I don't even have to go too far because Knowledge said it all. Once he was taken out of the home through 3 strikes, thanks to Bill Clinton. Once he was criminalized as this and put into mass incarceration. Once he was giving them drugs like Ken asked, and he was a dope dealer, this was a way to criminalize him and take him out the house. So that woman in a position of survival, she taking what she got to get. It's just like people take food stamps. People take food stamps because they hungry.
Right.
Because they want it, but if it was enough, we wouldn't need it. Yeah. So we have to kind of look at, again, how he said they were poison. So, okay, in a self-fulfilling prophecy, we got to look at it like this, like Knowledge said. They being programmed, the man ain't shit. So as they programming the black man not to be shit, he don't want to do nothing. He want to sit there all day, not by his own thing, but it's no real jobs for him. It's no real. It's no real way. It ain't he lazy. It ain't they always lazy. Yeah. Sometimes we just at the bottom of the barrel. And like she said, okay, like you said, who do they see as that symbol of masculinity? I'm gonna go get me a white man because he looks like the savior. He looks like the man that can come through. He looks like the man that got the power because black men scared to even stand up to him. So it's such a disingenuous thing, and we got to, again, like Nala said, we got to look at how everything being forced and how we being programmed.
Yeah, but
So
I tell you like this, man. I remember. I just say, man, they've been raging war against us since the beginning of time, but we always fought through it. Our ancestors always fought through it, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying, the 70s, you know what I'm saying? I seen our people, we had a sense of pride.
That's the black.
This when I seen a big breakdown with my eyes as a teenager. Reaganomics and crack hurt us real bad. Before that, man, we stuck together. You know what I mean? I remember as far as business mind, the corner stores was filled with black owners.
Yeah.
Before the 80s came through, I remember that. So they breaking us down, and now they breaking us down through social media, man. Because what image do you see black portrayed as? Black women and men portrayed as?
So let me ask you a question, Walter.
No.
It's our inability to be in the household.
Say that again.
Nothing. I can't even say it.
Is it our inability to be in the household as fathers the reason the black woman is vulnerable to the mental mind fuck of the white man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think us not being there, like I said, I think us not being there makes her more vulnerable to that influence. But to the earlier point, I do think, right now she's in a special position of power and influence. The black woman, and it's longer weighted. I guess I could say that for them now, but I really don't think honestly it's gonna last that long. After being up front and out in the spotlight, I think 5 years at the most. They're gonna want to go back, and find a man or somebody to go out there and stand in the front. But
all right, 4 to 5 years in, right? Act like the 5 years won't come for this question.
they might find a trans though, for real. I think about it. Go ahead.
But if the black women stay in this positive growth in American economic rise, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't she? I know y'all gonna go back to learning your history, but in the black American psyche, that's not black power. Shouldn't she realize she has to help some kind of black guys? I'm talking about the overall, the 40 to 60 that make over 50 grand, 52 upwards, 100
Go
grand.
ahead. I'm gonna let you.
If you want a man, do you think they should peep that just scenario and
Yes.
figure out how to help a black man?
Yeah. I would say answer your question. Yes. But however, she has to see her reflection, because we're talking about like positive. Going back, she has to see the black man as her reflection. So now, like we're saying, okay, now we pausing and we're in 2022 in this state. So if we're looking at, again, social media, because this is where people spend a lot of their time socializing. If we're looking at what's happening to the black masculinity, you got a lot of whiny dudes online that's always whining about something. They're like, and they waving these passports like it's their freedom papers, and this is gonna be the end all be all and solving their problem. They don't even want black women anymore. So of course, this is pushing her more because as she was taken out of the home, she had to be the sole provider. So that kind of put in her a false masculinity, in my opinion, because now she got to be the feminine. She got to be the disciplinarian. She got to be she got to be the breadwinner without a man there. So when we saying we got a lot of masculine women, why? Because there's no masculinity there to take it off of her shoulders. So now when we're looking at it and you say, okay, the vast majority, because I feel like I always say this, the Kevin Samuels effect was Donald Trump effect was to white America.
Mm.
It gave them kind of like this sense of false, it gave them, it gave them the room to be who they truly are. So as he became their savior and their spokesman and speak this high value bad bitch mentality into these men, it further neutered them and made them not want to be men. Now they're in a position of whining and saying, "What I'm gonna provide for you for? If you ain't putting out, I'm putting you out." Again, this Eurocentric way of thinking. So there's no protection. We saying, why I gotta protect them? We shouldn't be asking these questions. What you mean? Why we gotta protect the black women? Because she produces the black child, which reinforces the black family. But she don't see it. To answer your question, Rep, she has to see her reflection. Her reflection has to see her in order for her to kind of say, okay, I got to get behind a black man. But if we saying, I'm going to go get me a white woman, I'm going over here, she going to go there.
Is her reflection from the essence in a love connection, or is it in a Eurocentric job opportunity thing? You know what I mean? Does he want to make money in America? Is he
That's real.
Job, or is it really the real connect?
Again, I say yeah, because it's survival based. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of get it how you live in a sense.
Yeah. But you know what? Go ahead, Bison.
No, go ahead, though.
Man, I think a lot of this shit is propaganda, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, it's good brothers out here that take that's family, man. We right here. You know what I'm saying? They don't show us. You know what I'm saying? They don't show us on TV. They show all the BS. You know what I mean? It's propaganda. They don't, you know what I'm saying, put us in the spotlight. They don't want to. It's part of their goddamn plan.
But that's what. But that's what me and Rebel was saying as we were setting the table of this. We was kind of saying that how us, the ones that really, because we know, like we've had some powerful sisters. Shout out to Sister Maymuna. Shout out to them sisters that was from Chicago, New Era Chicago. So we see beautiful black women come through. But like you said, Waldo, it's not being spotlighted. Yeah. It's being spotlighted by the Nene Leakes syndrome.
Guess what happened though? Like I always say, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Our youth is looking at this bullshit. So they growing up, think this shit is normal.
Yeah. This is this perpetual cycle. I think one of the brothers talked about this perpetual cycle. And it's like it's self-fulfilling. Because think about this, man. Really think about. We should really think about, and we should talk about the Willie Lynch. On one of these. Think about how he said. He said if this plan is implemented, it could be, it could run for thousands.
He said thousands.
What did he say, Hartgrove? Because I don't know. I don't want to misquote.
I'm gonna get the book.
I don't want to misquote. What did he say?
I thought he said 300 years.
Yeah, I thought he was emphasizing on the 100. But
yeah.
That's his work. So
I'll check.
Well, I'll go with that.
Because I always thought like the time was up. Yeah, see. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. At least 300 years.
Yeah.
My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it.
Can you, before you put that, can you go just a little bit further into like the because this is deep shit, man.
Man, I want to dedicate a whole session to it. Honestly, I need to review it.
But look, though, this could be the intro, dog. But no, man. We go ahead.
I've outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes.
And you can cut it off there, man, if you don't want to go too far.
We have part 2 next Thursday.
Yeah, because I know he said he really want to build on that.
We have a part 2 next
I
Thursday.
do. I think it's worth it.
No, that's what I'm saying, and I'm
idea.
glad. And I'm glad you caught me on that, bro. Because like you said, man, differences. That's why I asked you just to go a little bit further.
You know this, man. Whew, it ain't much.
Fear and distrust, hard, bro.
That's and that's real, man. Like
This is why the legacy is effed up.
they really doing that. Like that's what I'm saying. That's legacy. This education. You know what I'm saying? they had education. They had training. You know, and they kept doing it.
So y'all talking about influences, right? Who's the number one influencer on the planet?
Right now,
That's a good question.
it's a collective. There's just no number
It's
one
collective.
person.
Ooh, good answer.
Who you say?
The Kardashians. Ooh, give me that.
Fucking white man.
Exactly. That's why I was gonna go. That's why I was gonna go, bro. That's why I was like, I disagree.
No, Kanye
with
West
on
is.
that one.
Got 30.
Kanye West is.
What? Nah, Kanye.
He stood.
Hey,
white
Reb,
man.
what you saying?
He said Kanye West. He said white man.
White man. Because he make all these systems that seem to influence everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm giving him the...
Because it's global. It's global, dog. It's global, rebel. White supremacy is global.
You look at
Not
Google,
just the city, not just the city. World, Craig.
Yeah, but like John said, in a lot of other races and cultures and countries, a lot of this shit ain't viable. You
Nah,
can't.
they don't. Nah, they got rules and regulations.
So okay. In a sense, okay. So tell me what y'all think about this. Okay, so even though in certain countries, do we think black people are oppressed in those countries?
Most times, yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
See?
Keep it real.
Yes.
And that's really to your point, Rebel. Like, because I think it's different. So just like we're saying, we don't want to go because I really do think we should do that Willie Lynch. Think as they passed it out to each one. Think as they passed it out to the Portuguese. Think as they passed it out to the Spaniards. Think as who we could think of, Irish. It's different methods, but it's the same outcome. We on the bottom no matter where we at.
I learned
To
something.
keep you on the bottom, you have to have that divided mind, that singularity mind.
Ooh, that's the Willie Lynch though.
Mm-hmm.
If we was all stuck in a barn and we wanted to get out,
So
all working apart from each other,
guess what though? Guess what? If we were stuck in a barn, dog, we would be fighting over who got the most hate because it's in us.
so then we never getting out the barn, though.
They would have a foundational section, foundational Black American section of the barn. They would have a Morris section of the barn.
It's all these,
And we all in the barn smelling this and we stuck.
They don't understand that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand that.
See, it's gonna come to that point though.
But we already there, bro. That's what
No, I'm
y'all
talking about it's gonna come to the point. It's gonna get so
Right.
bad for us that we ain't gonna have no other choice but to stick
No.
together. That's what I mean.
But like Hard Grove said, we there.
Hey, bro. Legacy.
He said at least 300.
300. We in there, man. Like, come on, man.
Yes.
I was going off of what Abasi said.
No. I'm just saying, it's all together though.
Well, man, dude, it's gonna come to the point we keep on playing and stuff and bullshit. It's gonna come to the point because these hunkies ain't fucking playing with us, man. We see that.
No.
It'll come to the point we ain't gonna have no other
But
choice.
listen.
But
But to that, I like that example of, you know what I'm saying, we all in the barn, bro. You know what I'm saying? This one world, you know what I mean? And we get our ass whooped in every single corner of the school. And we still playing around.
And we get beat up and they say, you know they wouldn't do us like that. They doing us like that because you calling yourself black. And it's like, no, they whooping our ass because they can.
That's real.
It has nothing to do with that.
But we don't know the link. You got to link up first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it.
But see, this is why I say,
and then we link up with people, and we just don't understand no points in that for some reason. We want to bicker over bullshit.
Because no, but this is what I'm saying though, Waldo. This is what I'm saying to both all our points, mine, yours, and Hartgrove.
Hey, Obasi.
Yo,
Let me fuck up that example.
you got what you got?
What happens if you throw in like one white man?
Oh man. You know, I got my answer.
He become the goddamn president of the bar.
I can tell
I
you,
got
man.
my answer. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you straight up, we scared, man, because the police got to go out there and shoot our kids and smack up our women. We ain't gonna do shit about it. They know.
We know how to listen.
Come on, man.
I'm not gonna say that.
Why not? It's been happening for years.
Make it happen.
Now, some of us, it just happens to the right people.
Man.
No, I'm talking about on the overall scale. They been killing our kids since what? Trayvon, all of them. You go down the line.
Way back.
Over the past
It's gonna
10
be
years.
at least
What the fuck we
there's
do?
gonna be a couple
Go
Christmas
march in the
addict
street.
brothers out there.
We ain't done shit.
On some no, you ain't gonna know. He ain't do
No,
nothing.
that went over your head. Christmas addict.
Good one.
Bro, you know we messed up, man.
Because, man, look, if they took us serious, they wouldn't keep on. This shit will continue to happen, man.
But see, look though. See, I mean, I love this right here because they take us serious. They take ones like us serious. That's why they make it so hard to be African. That's why they make it so hard to be that.
Yeah.
But see, it get drowned out by the different ones. Like he said, you throw that one white man in there, they would take us out because we really know what that white man represents. Because it's so crazy. They get brothers to take out leaders. They took Malcolm out so they could stay on the plantation. They will kill you to stay on the plantation.
Man, let me tell you something. Remember, probably about 8-9 years ago, probably 10 years, when the police officer shot the brother in his apartment. What the fuck they went on in court? Oh, I forgive you.
Oh, you talking about both of G?
Those are
Yeah,
Christian.
come on, man.
That's their Christian mindset.
Fact.
Man, fuck all that. I don't give a fuck
No.
about Christian, whatever
That's
you are.
fact.
Culture, man.
Water, you can't help somebody if they already
But that's like the image, man. That's like the image. I mean, I'm getting sick of seeing that shit.
And I think that's what Hartgrove said, that it's already embedded. And I mean, all of us are tapping on because Ken, like Ken's saying,
What?
at some point we're gonna have to.
I'm gonna give y'all some real numbers. There is half of the church world is leaving because of people waking up. A lot of people, believe it or not, are leaving Islam because they are tired of the inside politics. I'm gonna just be truthful with you. It's gonna be a time where we do come together. And then, as far as the European, they are declining because they are you know what I'm saying, dying off. And we as a people are leading in 9 African nations. 9 African nations. So in the next year or two, you're gonna be seeing a lot of us and a lot less of them. The only thing is, we, as us being who we are, with character, and who are for the people, when we say us, then we keep doing what we do as far as moving as a collective. So when they see us, for us moving, then they'll catch on.
I'm gonna tell you, man. You know, I ain't gonna diss on our church. You remember the Deacons of Defense? They was church people.
Yeah, they was more Black Power though.
Yeah.
Jesus can lead you.
But bro, again,
if you cord Black Power, your
Right.
God is behind your plight.
that was a different time, though, bro. Like what was
It's
it?
different times.
Something. When was that?
Yeah, it's a different time. We're in the worst time position. We're in the worst position than ever now.
You know, Garvey would
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. We talking about the crack era. You know, we not talking about the modern day drugs. You know, ever since Molly, ecstasy. You know, all of that back in the day. Now, you know, Xanax. You know, I don't even know all the names. You know, listen to it.
Gone, man.
I get caught up, but we're at the back end of that. You know, so
Oh, look, man, I want to hear Anita Baker sing again. I'm gonna tell you. Now, how in the hell we go? I'm Farrakhan said this back in the day. How in the hell we go to the Supremes to bitches and hoes and attitudes?
bruh, something is different about us, you know, from that time to this time, and it ain't just about the food that we eating. You know, that ain't the only thing. You know, I think it comes down to the education, and as we said, you know, the programming, the media.
Back to that, to what we're saying, the behavior modification. Because
we lost it somewhere with they paying our entertainers to sell us out. I mean, we lost it somewhere because we always been under pressure, always.
I think it became weaker and weaker by the generation every decade.
But Kimwater, you say this is the worst time right now, right?
That's because they got our minds gone.
Listen, I'm saying you say it's a worst time.
We gone.
I talk to a lot of elders and stuff when I be out. They say this is the best time.
Well, I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that.
It's a
I
crazy
don't know about
time,
that
bro.
one.
Let me finish. But
Go ahead.
what Hogro was saying, it's a different time.
I know it's a different time.
But I gotta speak with Ken on this one because we gotta look at what we're looking at. Garvey wasn't facing transgenderism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Garvey wasn't facing a basketball player using his son as a daughter to manipulate your children, so your children can't even really look at TV. Because but like we saying, it ain't nothing. That like Hargrove was saying tonight, nothing new under the sun. So we seen Flip Wilson play Geraldine. We seen Martin play Shanae. But it didn't. In this different time, to Waldo point, look at how it's being forced on us. We got dudes walking on. Okay, now hold on, everybody. And I'm not advocating for Kanye, but I think we gotta widen up the scope. Everybody saying Kanye's crazy, but nobody ever looks at that monstrosity Bruce Jenner that's walking around. They gave him Woman of the Year, and this is normal in this world. So I think this is the worst time to be around.
Listen, my thing when I look at, you know, because when we're talking about legacy, you know, and if we just take it back from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2020s, you know, I feel like we're on a knife edge. You know, we could either go, you know, back to something that makes sense, back to something more natural, or we're gonna mess around, go into outer space. You know, so when you were talking about the numbers of our people, yes, we are, you know, being productive physically, but if we don't have control of our minds, what's going to be the sexual identity, you know, of all of these brothers and sisters, you know? So what type of people are still being the influencers, and what type of influences is the world putting out there? That's what I'm worried about, you know, when I look at what tomorrow could look like.
Yeah, because like Waldo said, okay, they selling us out. So look at the influencers, right? None of the influencers really will speak hard against homosexuality. Why? Because they don't want to mess up the money. Right. You could be bought off. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you got a vested interest, you're strong. Okay, well, you know, and none of Bobby E. Wright talked to that. He said, you know, back to this cracking, I think everybody should look up this John B. Watson. He said this cat him and B.L. Skinner was the most dangerous to the civil rights movement. Because they found out that they could persuade our leaders and buy them off.
Listen, Colin Kaepernick was this generation's Muhammad Ali. Right. That comparison alone,
it's funny.
Shows the fall in the legacy.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
You know, like, look how quick, you know, Colin Kaepernick sold out.
It didn't take no pressure, though.
You know, deals, like, come on, bro. Like,
yes.
Ali actually gave up, you know, things and
gave up his career, his whole career.
Like, risked it all. Like, come on, brother.
Show sponsored by Panther Wear. Go get you a pen. Go look it up. Panther Will.
But yeah, bro, it's a different time, bro. Different, different fighters, but different elders too. We got to be aware of that. Like our elders are transitioning. We becoming the next generation of elders.
Right. Right.
Things are changing, man.
Because they still kind of like, in a sense, can remember those days, and they like, well, it's still a good, because they remember, but we looking at, and I always talk to one of my elders, and I'll say, in a sense, because I don't want to be disrespectful, because we got to really look at what our ancestors, they was really dealing with racism physically, where they could come up to you and just snatch you up and lynch you. So we don't really face it like that, but we face it harder on a psychological,
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to say we face harder challenges than they did, but we face harder propaganda than they did.
Different, bro. Yeah. Like I said, you can't, like you said, and I like how you put that, because we know how difficult, or we can imagine how difficult slavery was, but I don't think they can imagine how difficult, it is for us right now, so it's just a different time, different struggle, so you can't really compare the two.
No. Yo, man, this is a dope bill. See, I love stuff like this, man, because we get down to it, man. We get down to it.
I do want to see that Willie Lynch next episode, or whenever y'all want to put that together.
You do that. What you think, Obasi, next week?
Yeah.
I think that would be dope. Yeah, man.
13th. That's the 20th.
Yeah.
All right. I should be straight.
Yeah, let's do it next week.
That's what I'm talking about. All right.
Got to, man. Need more time for this, man.
Talk about the event real quick. We got 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, man. I kick it off, Vocal Dialects presents the Son God His Experience. Well, October 29th, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Almanala Griot, Afrocentric Teaching Museum, you know what I mean? And, we're going to be talking about a lot of feminine energy, you know what I mean? We're going to talk about holistic healing, mental health, you know what I mean?
Mental health.
The speakers, we got the brother Obasi, he gonna kick it off, you know what I mean? First of all, we got Poetics, the brother Poetics, shout out to the brother.
Shout out to Poetics.
He gonna sit up there, host the show, you know what I'm saying? He gonna do a couple of pieces and stuff, you know what I mean? We gonna have brother Obasi, he gonna kick it off, he gonna be the first speaker, he the first speaker. We got the brother Sincere, he gonna come down with a couple of dope pieces. Shout out to the brother Sincere. We got Mother Earth, you know what I mean? She gonna be talking about holistic healing. We got Dr. Benson. She gonna be talking about health and wellness, you know what I mean? So come on through. We got the Vengers. I can't forget about the Vengers. The Vengers gonna be performing in the building, you know what I mean? So you can look us up on Vocal Dialect, you know what I mean? Vocal Dialect, Vocal with a K, on Facebook and Instagram. It's gonna be in the description, you know what I mean? The tickets are $10. Through Eventbrite, $15 at the door. Come on through. You got anything else to say, Knowledge?
You put it down, man. You put it down,
man. You know what I'm saying?
The link is on the page, man. Get your tickets now. $10 right now, $15 at the door. Don't wait. This will be a sold out.
This one gonna be a banger. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm not just saying that to get you buy no ticket. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a wealth of information. We got a lot of people gonna be in the building, who also is gonna be presenting their information as well. So make sure you get your ticket and come through.
Come on through. Hit me up at 470-798-8527. Kenwato Light page, you know what I mean? That's my number. Hit me up on my email address, MOOREKENWARDO, the number 8 at gmail.com.
Nice.
That's about it. Hit up Vocal Dialect email address too, vocaldialect@gmail.com. Come on through. You got all the information. Come on, enjoy yourself and learn something too. Yeah.
All right. Well, you didn't give us the date though.
October 29th.
I said October 29th.
Night.
October 29th. That's a Saturday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Mighty 9 Degree on the West End, y'all. Yup.
Woo! It's about to be on. A few days away. Can't wait.
Right.
Someone drop the info.
Yeah. If you want to, we can do it.
Obasi, you go first, Obasi.
I always say I'm around, man. You know what? I am around.
Now you got to prove, man. Bossy Kente on Facebook. TikTok. Give him your TikTok, man. You know you be doing a little motivational speeches. You know what I'm saying? Every day we putting them out. They dope, man. Go ahead. What's your name?
That's definitely since my boy threw me out there. That's definitely the cerebral assassin.
That's right.
Cerebral assassin.
Yeah.
Brother John, UNIA Division 421 on Facebook and YouTube. You can call me 678-631-9404. Race first.
Race first.
Aesthetics Apparel, ESTHETIKS Apparel. That's my brand. Check me out. You can also check out Elite Wardrobe, EITE Wardrobe on Facebook, Instagram. That's the custom shop. And you know you guys can reach me 404-913-7165. And that's it.
Yeah. Rebel Vision Television, Rebel with a Cause online, Instagram, Red Breddington, IG. Get ready for the new shows though. Queen's Law filming real soon. We gonna keep that in the air. But Queen's Law's coming. Fellas, I got 2 or 3 more other shows I want to create. 2 game shows and 1 the rawest show we could possibly create on some revolutionary talk. So I'm gonna put y'all on. I got Obasi and Black Power banging for that one. We gonna get arrested every night. So we gonna need bail money for that one. But we got big things coming. Rebel Vision Television. Another brilliant show, fellas. Thanks for letting us pick your brain. Y'all all drop jewels. You know how we do it. So we out here to next week. Next week we doing the Willie Lynch, I guess, biography. We're gonna break him down. All his work.
I got the book. I got one of them books. I got the yellow book.
I got one too.
Willie Lynch Letter and the Making of a Slave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break that down next week. It's gonna be powerful. We gonna try to decide if
that's gonna be crazy.
Still exists. If his magic is still working. Because 400 years is up. Remember? Didn't we just celebrate that?
That's crazy in itself.
I'm just saying, if it was magic.
We celebrated it, but no.
Yeah, 2019, I think, was supposed to be 400 years.
That's a whole different conversation.
So we gotta be over. But is
I don't think we would be at this point if it was over.
Exactly. So next week breakdown gonna be real strong. This is gonna be hell. We're gonna try to compare the links and the thought patterns. See if they still exist.
Say less.
They do. All right, we'll see you for the show next week.
Yep.
All right, fellas. So we out of here with another episode of Rebels Round Table. We out of here. Masterminds Rise. Us.
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 Yumotep.